What's good, my internet squad? Strap in, cause we're about to unravel the juiciest, most jaw-dropping true crime saga of 2025, the Sean Diddy Combs trial. This ain't your average drama. It's a full-blown crime scene of power, betrayal, and straight-up audacity.
Okay, now, we need, alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right, just a different blend.
We're talking a rap mogul accused of sex trafficking, racketeering, and, hold up, dangling a woman off a 17-story balcony like he's auditioning for a villain role. And don't get me started on him side-eyeing the jury so hard, the judge had to clap back. From bad boy legend to courtroom defendant, Diddy's world is crumbling. And we've got the front row scoop with witnesses like Briana Bangolan, Jane, and Cassandra Ventura dropping bombshells, and the X-sphere going absolutely feral. This case is a cultural earthquake. So grab your iced matcha, silence your group chat, and let's dive into this roller coaster. Smash that like, share with your besties, and sub for more true crime tea. Let's go. Sean Diddy Combs, the king of hip-hop, fashion, and flex. This man built an empire. Bad Boy Records, Ciroc Vodka, Sean John Threads. He's got Grammys, penthouses, and parties that make Vegas look tame. For decades, Diddy's been untouchable, the guy who turned can't stop, won't stop into a lifestyle. But in 2025, his crown's slipping, and he's fighting for his freedom in a New York courtroom. The feds hit him with monster charges, sex trafficking, racketeering, drug distribution, and more. They claim Diddy used his fame and fortune to run a shady operation, coercing women into drug-fueled sex parties dubbed freak-offs, backed by threats, cash, and control. At the heart of the case are three women: Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie, his ex, the prosecution's star witness; Jane, alleged victim number 2, whose story's a gut punch; and Briana Bangolan, who says Diddy dangled her off a balcony like it's a music video stunt. These testimonies are the prosecution's ammo to prove a pattern of abuse, but Diddy's defense is swinging back, calling it lies, misremembered drama, or straight-up revenge. This ain't just a trial, it's a cultural reckoning. Let's kick it off with Briana Bangolan, aka Bana, who dropped a wild claim. In 2016, Diddy allegedly dangled her off a 17-story balcony at Cassie's LA condo, threatening her life and growling, "I'm the devil! I could kill you!" Bro, you're a rapper, not Darth Vader. Briana's story paints Diddy's world as a toxic maze. Drugs, violence, intimidation. She says she saw Diddy hand Cassie drugs, tying into the racketeering charge, like he's running a cartel with Molly as currency. Her testimony suggests Cassie was stuck in a scary vibe, making those freak-offs sound less like fun and more like coercion, but Diddy's lawyer Nicole Westmoreland came for Briana like it's a rap diss track. They pulled receipts, texts, photos, hotel records to shred her credibility. They showed a pic of Briana and Cassie vibing on April 24th, 2016, the same day she claims Diddy threatened her. Caption: "Best dressed. Sis, you're slaying for Insta while Diddy's playing balcony Jenga?" Then May 2016, text, Briana sending Cassie pics of drugs like crystallized stuff and blue pills. Defense was like, "You're terrified, but you're texting Cassie about dope?" Briana's response: "I guess I wasn't that scared." Oof, that's a fumble. They dug deeper, showing texts where Briana's asking if Puff wants a t-shirt, weeks after the alleged threat. Like, if someone yeeted me off a balcony, I'm not offering them merch. The knockout punch? Hotel receipts proving Diddy was at Trump Tower in New York under his alias Frank Black from September 24th to 29th, 2016, when Briana says the incident happened on September 25th or 26th. We're talking 344 breakfasts in NYC, while Briana claims he's in LA. Defense was like, "Checkmate, your dates are cooked." Briana stayed cool as ice, never laughing or cracking under pressure, just hitting "I don't recall" when cornered. Props for composure, but her vague answers left gaps. The prosecution fought back on redirect, arguing trauma scrambles memory. Briana showed photos of her bruised leg, gnarly with a hole poked in it, and doubled down. "I have no doubt he held me off that balcony." A 2016 text from Cassie to Christina Coram backs her, saying Diddy choked Briana and dangled her feet off the balcony. That's a juicy receipt. But with messy dates, the jury's probably torn. One juror was ping-ponging between Briana and Moreland, taking notes, while others looked drained by the back and forth. This testimony's a battleground. Now, Jane, alleged victim number 2, her identity's locked down tighter than Fort Knox. No face, no personal deets, just a pseudonym to shield her. Her story? It'll break your heart. Jane, a single mom and content creator from California, met Diddy in 2020 and fell hard by 2021. Their relationship lasted until his 2024 arrest. 4 years of highs and horrors. Briana kept it cool, hitting I don't recall or that's not on me, but Nicole Westmoreland was relentless. Your story's a hot mess and you're straight up lying. It's giving courtroom roast battle, and Moreland brought the fire, the real mic drop, those hotel receipts, pure legal gold. They showed Diddy checked into Trump Tower in New York under his alias Frank Black from September 24th to 29th, 2016, with breakfast bills hitting $344, while Briana swears he was in LA dangling her off a balcony on September 25th or 26th. Defense was like, how's Diddy terrorizing you in LA when he's munching croissants in NYC? Then they pulled texts of Briana casually vibing with Cassie post-threat, sending drug pics, crystallized stuff, blue pills, and even asking if Puff wants a t-shirt. Sis, if someone yeeted me off a balcony, I'm not sliding into their DMs with merch ideas. Defense hammered her. Scared? You're out here playing besties. Briana held it together like a pro, never laughing or cracking under Moreland's heat. A viewer asked if Briana seemed frazzled. Milner shut it down. Nah, she was cool as ice, just leaning on, I don't remember. But those vague answers? They're a double-edged sword. The jury's probably side-eyeing her timeline, wondering if trauma's blurring her memory or if the story's shaky. Briana's composure was clutch, but the defense's receipts landed hard. One juror was scribbling like it's a finals exam, catching every contradiction, while others looked worn out by the legal tug-of-war. The defense also dug into Briana's lawsuit inconsistencies, her injuries, bruised leg, neck, back, nightmares, and a demand letter they claim exaggerated deets. Briana admitted some parts were off, but she doubled down on the balcony, showing photos of her leg, gnarly with a hole poked in it. Prosecution pushed back, arguing trauma scrambles dates, and dropped a bombshell Cassie text from 2016 to Christina Courtroom. Diddy choked Briana and dangled her feet off the balcony. That's a receipt the jury's gonna dissect, but the defense's timeline attack keeps Briana's story on shaky ground. Jane hasn't faced Cross yet, but the defense is probably cooking up a plan to paint her as a gold digger, chasing Diddy's cash, $10,000 rent, $20,000 gifts, and not coerced. But Jane's raw, tear-soaked testimony and that love contract vibe, Diddy paying her to perform in debauchery nights, make her hard to dismiss. The prosecution's betting on her to expose Diddy's control freak playbook. Money as a leash, not love. Milner said Jane's emotional delivery is hitting the jury like a freight train, but the defense's receipt-dropping masterclass could shake her too. This is legal chess, and the board's on fire. The X-Sphere? It's a digital coliseum, and this trial's the main event. Cassie's stans are riding hard, saying Briana and Jane's stories prove Cassie endured a living nightmare. One X post went viral. If Diddy did this to Jane and Briana, Cassie must have been in hell. The heartbreak's real, with fans dropping tear-soaked reaction vids, pouring love for the survivors. But the flip side, it's a meme fest tearing Diddy apart. Balcony Bandit, Baby Oil Baron, Naughty McNodface trending like wildfire. I'm not fully co-signing the shade, but those TikTok edits with I'll be missing you remixed into I'll be dangling you, low-key genius. But let's keep it 100. It's not all laughs. Some X-users are vicious, dragging Briana's sloppy timeline like it's a reality show takedown. Comments like, her story's faker than a knockoff Birkin are brutal. Others are Team Diddy, screaming witch hunt and swearing he's being framed by haters or the feds. The divide's savage. One camp wants him locked up for life. The other's flooding X with "our free Diddy" like it's a movement. It's a digital tug of war, and the polarization's giving 2025 internet mob vibes. This trial's sparking emotions so raw, it's like Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard on steroids. Fans are camped outside screaming support or shade, with lines so tense it's like Black Friday at a Supreme drop. One dude allegedly got clocked with a hammer over cutting the line. Hammer guy. Who hurt you? Line cutters are clashing with diehards who've been queuing overnight, some even yelling at reporters for bias. It's a circus, and the stakes are sky high. A viewer asked if the trial's frenzy is wearing on the jury. They're engaged but exhausted, that front row juror's still scribbling like it's a true crime novel, but others are slumping, drained by the repetitive legal volleys. Yet, the X-Sphere's pandemonium shows how deep this case cuts. People aren't just watching, they're living it, but behind the memes and mob, real pain's pulsing. Briana, Jane, and Cassie aren't trending hashtags. They're humans fighting for justice. The internet loves a spectacle, but we gotta keep their truth front and center. It started like a fairy tale. Jane was smitten, calling Diddy, Sean, Ernie, like Bert and Ernie too cute, and schnookums. They flirted on a Miami yacht, vibed over drinks, and Diddy dropped stacks, $10,000, $20,000, for her rent, flights, you name it. Their first date? A 5-day odyssey, jetting to Turks and Caicos on his private plane with his chef and butler in tow. Jane called Diddy larger than life, a charmer who gifted her a love bracelet and swept her off her feet. Dreamy. Right? But by May 2021, the dream turned dark. Diddy started pushing fantasies, watching Purn with Jane and urging her to talk about other guys to get him going. She went along thinking it's spicy roleplay. One night high on ecstasy, allegedly from Diddy, he said, "I can make this real." Jane, buzzing, said okay, expecting a one-time thrill. Big mistake. Diddy orchestrated a debauchery night, what Cassie called freak-off, were in a Miami hotel. Assistants set up the room, and an escort named Dawn, possibly from Cowboys for Angels, rolled in. From 2021 to 2023, these hotel nights happened every single time she saw Diddy. Miami, LA, New York, Turks, and Caicos. His travel agent flew her out, and the scenes were wild. Red lights, music, dozens of baby oil bottles, sessions lasting days with multiple ESKR. Jane says Diddy micromanaged her. Straight hair, creamy white nails, ponytail for nights, even pushing nipple piercings. He paid her $10,000 a month rent, wired cash, but she felt like a puppet. Say no, he might cut her off. Jane broke down on the stand, sobbing, saying she only wanted Diddy, not escorts. She launched an OnlyFans to earn her own money, but needed his approval. The prosecution calls this a love contract. Diddy bankrolled her life, but only if she played his game. It's not love, it's a leash. Jane's testimony is still unfolding, but her raw emotions hitting the jury hard. While witnesses are out here spilling their souls like it's a therapy session, Diddy's acting like he's directing a Netflix true crime doc, starring himself, naturally. This man's nodding at the jury, throwing looks like he's about to drop a surprise Bad Boy remix. Bro, this ain't a 90s music video shoot, and you're not Puff Daddy vibing with Biggie. Judge Aaron Subramanian was done with the theatrics, unleashing a verbal smackdown on Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. Your client's nodding vigorously at the jury. This can't continue, or I'll hit you with a limiting instruction you'll hate, or straight up boot him from my courtroom. Drag him, Your Honor, drag him. Diddy's been eyeballing the jury like he's trying to cast them in his next video, nodding or shaking his head during testimonies like he's got a front row seat at a roast. When defense lawyer Nicole Westmoreland grilled Briana Bangolan about the Bad Boy reunion tour, Diddy was nodding so hard, it looked like he was co-signing every jab. We call him the quarterback of his defense, scribbling notes like he's plotting a Super Bowl play, passing them to his team, and reacting to every witness with Oscar-worthy dramatics. It's bold as hell, but risky AF. Jurors might read it as intimidation, like he's flexing his mogul clout to sway them or just plain desperation. The judge was bound to drop the hammer, and when he did, the courtroom air got thick with tension. Diddy, you're skating on ice thinner than your Ciroc bottles. But let's talk about the jury, because they're the real MVPs holding this trial's fate. One front row juror was locked in, ping-ponging between Briana and Moreland like it's a Wimbledon final, scribbling notes so fast you'd think they're writing a novel. This juror's got that I'm solving a puzzle energy, catching every nuance. But others? They're looking drained, like the repetitive grillings wearing them down. Imagine sitting through hours of legal ping-pong, texts, receipts. I don't recalls. It's exhausting. Yet they're still engaged, leaning in when the stakes get high, feeling the weight of this case. One viewer asked if the jurors are as hyped as day one. Milner's take? They're invested but fatigued, like us binging a true crime series at 2 a.m. Diddy's jury-staring shenanigans aren't helping his case. They're just adding static to an already noisy trial. Bro, sit still and let your lawyers cook or crash. Diddy's defense team? They're out here playing CSI Courtroom Edition, dropping receipts like they're auditioning for a true crime podcast. Their mission? Nuke the witnesses' stories and make the jury question everything. For Briana Bangolan, they came swinging like it's a lyrical battle, tearing into her civil lawsuit against Diddy with surgical precision. They accused her of hyping claims, like alleging Diddy groped her so hard it left bruises, then said her ex-lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, spread false deets for clout. Alright fam, let's cut through the glitz and get real. Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love, whatever he's calling himself these days, built an empire that screamed untouchable. Grammys stacked like poker chips, private jets slicing the skies, party so wild they'd make Ibiza blush. But if the allegations in this trial are true, his legacy's not just tarnished, it's torched. We're talking a man who allegedly used his empire to trap women, wielded drugs like puppet strings, and orchestrated days-long sex marathons he called freak-offs, acting like it's all a vibe. Nah, bro, that's not a flex. That's a federal indictment waiting to slap you silly. Let's break it down, cause this ain't just about a trial. It's about a man who allegedly turned clout into a weapon. Briana Bangolan's balcony claim? If it's real, it's the stuff of nightmares. She says Diddy dangled her off a 17-story ledge in 2016, growling, "I'm the devil! I could kill you!" That's not a party anecdote. That's bone-chilling terror, the kind that lingers like a shadow. Jane's story? Even darker. A single mom swept into Diddy's orbit, flown across the country, Miami, LA, New York, Turks, and Caicos, to perform in debauchery nights for escorts while high on ecstasy he allegedly supplied. Days-long sessions, dozens of baby oil bottles, Diddy directing like a twisted maestro. That's not romance, it's manipulation dressed up in private jet privilege. And Cassandra Ventura, her texts about Briana's assault paint a picture of a woman trapped in a gilded cage, surrounded by fear and control. These aren't vibes, they're victims. And what's Diddy doing while these women bear their pain on the stand? Strutting like he's still the king of bad boy, nodding at the jury like he's dropping a beat in the studio. Bro, you're not hyping a crowd at a BT Awards after party. This is a courtroom, and those jurors hold your fate. When Nicole Westmoreland grilled Briana about the Bad Boy reunion tour, Diddy was nodding so hard you'd think he was co-signing a diss track. Judge Aaron Subramanian wasn't here for it, snapping at Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. Your client's nodding vigorously at the jury. Keep it up, and I'll hit you with a limiting instruction or yeet him out of my court. Yes, Your Honor, serve that justice. But let's talk about the gall of it all. Diddy, you had everything. A legacy that shaped hip-hop, a brand that screamed success, a cultural footprint from Harlem to Hollywood, and you allegedly chose this to prey on women, hide behind stacks of cash, and flex your power like a cartoon villain. You're not a boss, you're a bully cloaked in Ciroc bottles and designer suits. The X-Spheres got your number, clowning you with memes like Balcony Bandit and Baby Oil Baron, and yeah, those hit, but they're masking the rage at what you've allegedly done. Nodding at the jury won't save you. It just screams desperation, like a man who knows the walls are closing in. This trial's peeling back the curtain on a truth we've ignored too long. Clout ain't a cloak for cowardice. Power doesn't excuse predation. Fame doesn't buy a free pass to hurt people. Big love to Briana Jane and Cassie. They're warriors. Briana's catching flack for her timeline, but Milner said she stayed cool under Moreland's fire, never laughing or cracking, just leaning on, "I don't recall." Trauma's a beast. Dates blur, but her conviction, "I have no doubt," hits deep. A viewer asked if Briana laughed on the stand. Milner shut that down. Not at all. Respect for her strength. Jane, a single mom, bared her soul, sobbing about losing herself to please Diddy. That's not weakness, it's raw courage. Her story's still unfolding, but Milner said her tears are shaking the jury. Cassie's shadow looms. Her texts about Briana's assault show she was trapped too. These women aren't just witnesses, they're survivors, facing a titan for justice. One juror's scribbling like it's a novel, others look worn but engaged. They feel this. Drop hearts in the comments for Briana, Jane, and Cassie. They deserve our support. All right, fam, what's your verdict? Is Diddy guilty, or is this a setup? Should his team sue CNN for that 2016 hotel video leak? Our X poll says 80% think no, but what's your take? A viewer asked if Diddy could sue the hotel for leaking it because Diddy allegedly bribed a staffer, not the hotel. Spill your hot takes below, and let's keep it poppin'. Like, share, and sub for more true crime bangers. We're building a vibe, and you're the squad. Thanks for rocking with me. Stay real, stay kind, and catch you next time.